Hey, good morning. I am sweating. I just got out of a hot shower. I'm wearing this heavy sweatshirt. And there's Ernie. Ernie's just chilling. Where's Ernie at? Where's Ernie at? There's Ernie. What's up? Happy Tuesday. I skipped yesterday because I was afraid of Max, and I didn't want to talk about the Bears Packers. So that's why I skipped out on Monday morning show. No, I skipped out on Monday morning show. What are you doing? Come here. Somebody wants to be naughty. Is that you? I was up late Sunday night. I think my stream go till almost midnight, I think, on Sunday. And it was a busy man. The weekend, eBay Live over the weekend was insane, with the exception of Friday night. That sucked. But Saturday, I expected to make a couple $100. Blew that out of the water on Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, I think it was about the same. I did about the same set, which is what I would have expected to do on a Saturday night. Now I felt like shit on Saturday night. I don't know why. It was like and I'm finally over this like head cold. It was basically Sunday to Sunday. It was basically a week plus. And Saturday was like one of the worst days. I had just a massive headache. And then Sunday morning, woke up a little, but Sunday I felt great. So Saturday night I would have went a little longer, but I had that headache. I was at like auction, and I think I did a shorter live on Saturday night. I think I only did like 2.5 hours. I don't know. But anyway, it was a good night. Sunday night was awesome. And went late Sunday night and slept in yesterday. And plus it's tougher on the weekdays because I take Ernie to school, get him fed, take him to go poop for the third time. So when I sleep in till like 9:00 and I've got to do all that stuff, because I don't want to take him, because they do nap time from noon to 2. So I don't like taking him, like 10:30 is like pushing it. So I don't want to take him after that, because then he's only playing for like an hour and then he's in a crate for 2 hours. So I like to get him there between 9:30 and 10. So that's why I didn't go on, but I had a lot to talk about yesterday. And let's just tear that Band-Aid off since Max came in. Bear down. So that was a great game. The Packers are in first place. Going into the Philadelphia game last week, I had zero confidence. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said the Bears are gonna split with the Packers. That would have been my, because they played a patsy. I've said it. They played shitty teams, and they didn't play well against some shitty teams, but they kept winning games. And then they go into Philadelphia, and I had zero confidence. If you would have asked like 2 weeks ago, I probably would have said, "Oh, we're going to get manhandled by Philadelphia. We'll probably beat Green Bay at Green Bay in like a shit game, and then they'll probably beat us in Chicago." That's probably what I was thinking 2 weeks ago. Bears come in and control Philly and beat the Eagles, and I'm like, "Whoa, okay." Now I've got more confidence against Green Bay at Lambeau. And that turned out that was a really good game. Like, that may be the best game the Bears have played this year. And they're the 9-4 now. And that might have been the best game they played. And I'm confident now at Soldier Field that the Bears are going to win. That was a good game. It was a good game. It was the officiating was weird. and not in a good way. And it was, I would call the officiating, and I'm not saying this from because the Bears lost. Like, the officiating was bad on both sides. Like, there were some calls against Green Bay that it's like, the Bears got lucky on that one. The replays, like, we didn't even get a chance to like watch a replay before they go to commercial break. It's like they play one replay and go to commercial. They come out of commercial and it's like, we've ruled that this blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? One of the plays, I can't remember. It was one that went the Bears' way that should have, in my opinion, went the Packers' way. The Bears got lucky, in my opinion. Ernie was going crazy, barking at some dog outside. And so I didn't hear the explanation. It's like they showed one replay, go to commercial, come out of commercial, and just like, here we go. 3rd down, 2nd down, whatever it was. I'm like, what the hell just happened? It was in my group text. I'm like, what just happened? My dog was barking. I don't want to rewind. So that was a little bizarre. A few times that happened. So, but all in all, it was a great game. I'm looking forward to the rematch in 2 weeks in Chicago. And I'm confident with the Bears. I don't even know who the Bears have this week. If somebody can drop it in the chat, otherwise I'll look for it this weekend. So yeah, it was. I was impressed by, even in a loss. Like, I was impressed, and it's like I don't have sour grapes. Packers were the better team on Sunday, and it was a good game. Like, it was a good game, and I have. The last play, I've been a Caleb Williams defender since day one, but that was on him. I love the play call. That 4th and 1, everybody's, you run the ball. No, because that's what they're expecting, and the Packers had been stuffing the run. Catch them off guard. Like, well, you can't throw right and roll out left. Well, you're a fucking NFL quarterback. Yes, you can. And the throw was spot on. Unfortunately, there was a defender right there. So it was a poor decision by Caleb. I do like the play call. And Ben Johnson even came out and defended it yesterday in his interview. And he said, like, when we watched the play back, like, the defender, whoever it was that picked the ball off, like, is he going to take the guy up front, the receiver up front, or was it Loveland or Komet in the end zone? So I like the play call. Like, I thought it was the correct play call because I don't trust the Bears running game against the Packers defense. Now, the Packers run defense is not that good, but they were good in the moment in the game. They were defending the run well. So Williams rolled, and it's like DJ Moore was wide open, and you know, if he would have Caleb's vision, I'm a little concerned about his vision because there's been other plays where he's missing open wideouts. His timing's not quite there. I'm confident that comes around. He seems like a smart guy that gets the game and watches film and studies it and realizes I fucked up. So I do have confidence moving forward that we're in year 2, but I really liked Drew Brees. I don't know if it was during that game or if it was another game that I was watching, but Drew Brees was in commentary and the play-by-play guy asked him, like, as a quarterback, like, I think it was during the Vikings. Was he on the Vikings broadcast? Because JJ McCarthy had a great game. They blew out the Washington. And so they asked Drew Brees, like, when did you start feeling like, because this is basically JJ's rookie season. Like, he was out all year last year. So Drew was like, you know, when I was drafted, I'm in San Diego and I was playing behind Doug Flutie year 1. Like, my rookie, it was a different time back then. Like, his generation, he said, my generation of quarterbacks, like, we didn't just go in and we weren't expected to start right away. Yes, that did happen, but for the most part, it's not like today. If you're a first-round draft pick quarterback, you're starting. Like, it's just, we're throwing you to the wolves. So he played behind Flutie, was a backup his rookie year. He's like, I didn't feel like I really got the game at that level until my 4th year. which I really like. That insight is fascinating. And so you look at guys like Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, some of these young Drake May, Bo Nix, some of these young quarterbacks. Some will get it. Some will become really good, great quarterbacks. Some might become busts in a year or two, maybe. So, and hopefully Caleb's on the other side of that, where we're talking about how great he is. But obviously there's a lot of improvement. But the more reps you get at this level, the game starts to slow down. And I'm sure the game is still pretty fast. It's probably less fast than it was his rookie season, because it's probably a whirlwind. It's like your wedding night. It's like you don't even know what the hell's going on. And then year 2, things are a little slower. Year 3, and like Drew Brees says, year 4, maybe that's when it comes around and everything starts to click, and then you see greatness. Now, other quarterbacks, it clicks right away, and they're great from the start. Patrick Mahomes, great from the start. Now, they're struggling this year. I think they're below 500. So, but going back to the play, I like the play call. The execution wasn't there, and that's that. When you bring in, I was thinking about this during the game. When you bring in a coach like Ben Johnson, who he's got all these plays, oop-de-oops, and oop-de-oops, the varsity blues, but things like the oop-de-oop, you've got to have guys that execute and can, that's a big playbook. And if you're running all these trick plays, that's a lot for players to digest. And so the execution has to be there. So hopefully the Bears will have weapons that can handle that type of playbook. And we can see out of the Bears going forward what we saw the last couple of years in Detroit. They had the weapons that could execute the plays with the mental capacity to handle that playbook. And we saw some fun offensive firepower out of the Lions under Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator. All right. So those are my thoughts. Congrats to the Packers. I can't, I'm not going to talk shit. Packers were the better team. They won. They're in first place. Max can be in the chat. Max told me he was going to be in the chat parading around like I was. Bears are in first place. Bears are in first place. Bears are the number 1 seed. So Max, take your victory lap. Bears are no longer in first place. So Bears, eBay Live was good. I'm just checked my numbers, 297% year over year. Obviously that's eBay Live powered. I have started to kind of add some stuff to my Buy It Now store, and stuff's moving. I sold and some stuff that's been sitting for a while. Sold 4 of the Minnesota Twins World Series error sets. Basically, they had to pull them because they didn't have the license for the World Series in 1987. The Twins made these sets, so I've been selling these for anywhere between $20 and $30 a pop. I had somebody come in and offer me. They're like, "I'll do $25 a set if I'll pay $25 a set buying 4." I'm like, sold. I've got about 100 of them sold. So I had some New Scoop slabs that I paid at a bulk deal, $10 a slab. And, and a lot of that was those 76 Topps SGC 7s or whatever of Larry Parrish, that most of them I think did sell for, hit that $10 mark on Sunday when I ran most of them. Some of the New Scoops ran higher. Some of the other stuff went a lot higher. So it was a good deal all in all. It was a deal that I knew buying 100 slabs, $1,000 buy, 100 slabs, $10 a pop. There's going to be some duds. There's going to be some stuff that's not going to hit. There was what was it? 1987 Topps Eddie Murray, BCCG 8 or something. I don't even, does BCCG even have an 8? I figure it's only 9s and 10s. So there's some duds, but there were some really good stuff in there too that I knew okay, this is going to do really well. And that's what you do in a bulk deal. You can't You're not going to make $10. You buy $10 a slab. You're not going to make $10 on every one of those slabs. So I had some news scoops where I knew that I could probably get more on Buy It Now than live on the news scoops, because it's kind of a fringe, and I feel like there's more people looking for that type of thing specifically than just popping up on an eBay Live. You run a Broder Michael Jordan on eBay Live, and people are gonna, spend crazy amounts on stuff like that. You put it on Buy It Now, it's gonna be a $3 card, $5 card, maybe, depending on which one it is. So that stuff, it's like this, you have to, when you're in live selling, you have to know, or Buy It Now selling, if you're in any sales, doesn't matter what you're selling, you've got to know your audience. And if you're live selling, each audience is different. In fact, each audience for an individual, like me, my audience differs. Like Saturday night, oddball stuff was going crazy. That's the stuff that I want to put as Buy It Now, because it doesn't sell on live, but it was selling on Saturday. Soccer sometimes goes crazy. Hockey has been consistently a good seller on live. I wouldn't dare put anything on Buy It Now. I also wouldn't dare going out and buying a bunch of hockey unless I know it's a proven, older Wayne Gretzky, going to sell really well. I can buy dollar cards of Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin and Connor McDavid, and I know those will probably go for $3-4. It's the small margins, but do that 100 times and you've got a nice little profit margin there. So knowing the audience, and there's a lot of debate. Is live selling the way? Is Buy It Now static selling the way? And it's like, yes, yes, it's like, is great. It's kind of like, what's the best way? What's the best way to make money in the hobby? There isn't one. There isn't a best way. There is a best way, but it's for you. Some people go to card shows and buy raw cards, send them off to PSA, get them graded, and flip them and make a lot of money doing it. And that's great. That's not for me. That's not my best way. Some people go dig through, like me, dig through quarter boxes, find some gems. And I'm not talking grading gems. I'm talking a $100 card or a $50 card, and boom. Some people, also me, buy pallets of cards from Goodwill and sort through all the junk and fill quarter boxes at card shows. Some people only do card shows, sell on Facebook Marketplace. Like, there's so many ways to make money in the baseball card, football card, trading card, sports card, TCG, in the landscape. It's just, there's no, like, when I come on here and talk about live selling and eBay Live, it's great for me. And I've talked about it numerous times. Live selling isn't for everybody. It is for me. I have a background in sports play-by-play. I have a background in morning radio. I've been doing this show 1,642 times. I can come on and I can talk for an hour or 5 about nothing. It's just, live selling was meant for me. Like, it's what I do. I can talk about stupid stories, and I can talk about a card and my memories behind a card and sell it on eBay. So live selling works for me. And there's people that don't like to talk, may not have the voice for it. And really, honestly, if you don't have the voice for it, that doesn't matter in live selling. Like, you just, again, it's kind of like with anything. If you have good cards at good prices, you're gonna get a customer base. You don't have to be able to talk for 5 hours and tell stories and carry the room. If you put good cards up, and you can get them at good prices, you're gonna build an audience. So I don't even know where I was going with that. But because I've been branching out into Buy It Now as well. So it's not a one way or the other type deal. Like, it's not like I'm not necessarily putting all of my eggs in the eBay Live basket. I am, but I'm not. I deleted 60,000 listings from my eBay store because it was costing me money, and not in a sense of I still have a premium store subscription. I'm still paying $60 a month for the premium store. I have 80 listings in my store. And I'll probably keep it. I mean, there's no reason for me not to save a little bit of money. It's almost like a security blanket. I had a conversation with my buddy Craig, who's a regular dealer at my shows, and it was an interesting comment that he made. And he said, "Why don't you promote your eBay live streams on your listings?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, I went to somebody's who was a live seller on their eBay store, and I clicked on an item, and it had a link like right there, like they were eBay Live." And I'm like, interesting. So I went and I looked, and I'm like, I have that. I have that. But even though I had that, it was an epiphany. If I list, it dawned on me for wrestling night. And I think Craig even said, he's like, "Why don't you list some wrestling cards in your store? So when people come and look at that item, they see that you're an eBay Live seller." That's a really good idea. That's genius. So what I did was I listed some wrestling cards, just a wide range of wrestling cards. And hopefully a few people visited those listings, saw that I'm a live seller. I did, there was a not newsletter, survey that was sent out to eBay Live sellers last week. And I offered a lot of input, probably more than they were because nobody fills out surveys. I fill out those. When it comes to eBay Live, I fill out every survey that they send me. I am doing every Zoom call that I'm invited to because I want to make this thing work for me because I have literally it's what I'm making money on. So I provided a lot of input, and one of my and I don't know how to do it because of the technology, but also just the marketing side. Get with marketing, get with your IT, but I would like a better way to advertise the live within the listings. Would there be a way to, instead of just eBay Live seller, wrestling night, December 17th or whatever night it's going to be, that way when there's a wrestling listing and they click on this Hulk Hogan rookie card, they see, oh, wrestling on eBay Live on December 17th. I want to come to that. So that was one of my what I recommend. One of many recommendations. So I've been doing more of that because of that conversation with Craig. When I went to New York and I bought some stuff at Dave and Adam's store, the Wayne Gretzky rookie, the Jackie Robinson 53 tops, those are cards that I'm a little nervous in a live selling platform. Now, it's not like I spent thousands of dollars on them, but I spent hundreds. I think they were over $1,000 between the two of them. I think the Gretzky I got for $650, maybe a little less, maybe $625. I think the Jackie was in the $500 range, somewhere in there. So a little over $1,000. But it's like, if I don't have the right room, I might only get a couple $100. And yeah, I could. The thing is, well, you can start it at whatever price point you want. I don't have to start it at $1. But I know a Wayne Gretzky rookie in a 2.5, I think it's in the other room, it's not going to sell for $13. No matter how many people are in the room, it's going to sell. And I am not going to list it on eBay Live. I'm going to promote it well. Hey, I'm going to run a Wayne Gretzky rookie on Saturday night, and in the stream, coming up at 8 o'clock, Wayne Gretzky rookie card, it'll bring people in. Like, I'm not concerned that it's going to sell for under $100. That's not a concern. But I'm concerned it only sells for $400. But hey, that's what, when you run auctions, whether it's live or a standard auction, like those are the risks you take. And I don't want to start it at $500, because what tends to happen if you start it at $500, guess what? It's only going to sell for $500, even though it's a $700, $800 card. So that's like that. Why list something like that at a higher price point? Now there's some, like a slab, like I'll start a slab at $10 because I'm not concerned. If it sells for $1 and if I list it if it started at $1, it sells for $3, then I lose money because I've got to ship it bubble mailer. It's going to cost $5. But if I started at $5 plus my 99-cent shipping, I've covered the cost of shipping with a $5 starting bid. So that's a little different. If you're talking a $500 card, what's the difference between starting it at $1 and starting it at 100? Because if it only sells for 100, I'm going to be disappointed. And a card that's $500, even if I start it at $1, again, you've got to know your room. Like, you're not just going to go, there's 3 people in the room. You're not going to run a 1955 Bowman Mickey Mantle with 3 people in the room. Part of it's on you as a seller to promote and like, hey, I'm running a Wayne Gretzky rookie. I'm running a 1955 Bowman Mickey Mantle. We're running vintage night. Like, there's got to be some promotion behind it. And that's why I like kind of sprinkling those in. I like the surprise element, because sometimes the surprise element, when I just run 200 random things with no pre-listing, it saves me a ton of time because I don't have to list anything. I just pull stuff out of my box. Like, oh, you want oddball stuff? Oh, how about this Broder Michael Jordan card? And poof, it sells for $25. But if I pull a 1955 Bowman Mickey Mantle out of a pile, like, it might only sell for $25. It probably would sell for more. But, and depending on how many people are in the room, and that's like, especially when you're starting out, or even I've been on live for several months now, have a big following, but there's still times Tuesday afternoon, if I ran a live today, I might have 25 people in the room. A lot of them are lurkers. What I've noticed during the weekdays, I have 30 people in the room, but there's not very many. I've got to go look at the numbers because I think it tracks. I think on my back end, eBay tracks like who's active. And so I'd be curious to see what the activity rate is on my daytime streams compared to the primetime streams, because I feel like I have the same amount of viewers in many cases during the day, a weekday, but there's a lot less bidding. Like, everything, there's 30 people in the room, but everything's selling for $1. Where if I had 30 people in the room on a Saturday night or a Wednesday night, it's like, even if it's $1 card, it's going to sell for like $3. So I'd be interested in finding out some of those numbers. So I have been diversifying a little bit. Now, I'm not diversifying with $1.50 cards, 99-cent cards, because then if they sell, I've got to go find them and, box 1, tab A, box whatever. Then I've got to go pull all that shit. And I don't want to do. That's the reason I pulled all my listings down. But I can put some slabs where it's like this slab's probably only going to sell for $10 on eBay Live, but I can probably get 50 for it on Buy It Now. I'll put that on Buy It Now. And I sold 3 of them to the same person. I think they were listed for like 24 hours. And plus, like, I think Gem City mentioned in the chat somewhere about billboards, like little billboards. It is. And I think, it was such a liberating feeling taking down all of my listings, because I knew the time wasted in it's not wasted for everybody, but in my life, those sales were a waste. Like I was losing every sale. I was losing money based on the time, not from a dollar and cent standpoint from the sale, but from a time suck. Like here I am spending hours making pennies, and taking those listings down was such a liberating feeling. It was like, fuck it, I don't want any more buy it now listings. But I kept like the autographed baseballs. I kept a couple things up. So I'm going to do a little better job of maintaining my buy it now section, because it really can. Like I'll have people like, I'll say I've got a Cooper Flag numbered to 99 from Topps Now. Or I have the Jacob Wilson RPA that sold pretty quickly from Ginter, the Johnny Bench autograph. And I can promote that in my lives. Like, check out my eBay store. I got a Johnny Bench auto in there. Oh, you're looking for Cooper Flag? Check out my eBay store. I've got the Cooper Flag, where it'd be a nice little highlight during a live. And the Cooper Flag still hasn't sold, so it might show up in an eBay live soon. So we'll see. All right, let's go to the chat. I've talked for 30 minutes. Bears down. Gem City's in the house. Figured that was why. Mark is here. What's going on? Good morning. Unicorn says hi to Mark. Max says, sorry you had nightmares this weekend. Love and the defense tend to do that to teams. Order is restored in the North again. Vikings fans are quiet. Detroit is self-destructing. Bears still suck. I'm going to show every Max comment because I was parading around, waving the victory flag. So we'll let Max take his turn. Thank God Vikings fans are quiet, though. Love seeing Darnold succeed in Seattle and McCarthy implode. Hey, McCarthy had a phenomenal game on Sunday. Minnesota won 31-0 on Sunday, and McCarthy looked really good. Media production has been absolutely awful over the last couple months. Gene is in the house. What's going on? Max has a little more air under that ball, and we might be talking OT. Yeah, it was. I mean, that's how it breaks sometimes. Nixon with the pick. I think Caleb is above average. However, I don't trust management to put a good team around him. I'm starting to change my tune. I would have agreed with that completely before the season started, but some of these, there's still a couple, like the Bears had massive holes to fix because of the management. Like the product they put on the field in 2024 is a crime, is an absolute crime. This year, there's still some holes. Like part of the defensive shortcomings is because of injury. Like the defense, and Kyler Gordon gets hurt in warmups. Like Jesus, like the Bears defense can't catch a break. I can't remember who's a free agent, who's going to be a free agent next year. I think Darnell on the offensive side. I think Darnell Wright's the only free agent on the offensive side. I can't remember on defense, but there's some whole left tackle is a big, like you've got to get that left tackle for next year. You've got to get a left tackle in there. Defense has to be shored up. Defense has to stay healthy. Is it baseball season yet? We're getting closer. We got Cubs convention in 5 weeks now. Holy shit. I've got a lot to get prepared for. I hired a professional, not AI. I hired a professional who's a friend of mine, who's in graphic design. And so he's designing a stand-up, like, professional retractable banner thing that I kind of sent on. Like, here's kind of my idea. He's going to work with it. Table skirt, I've already ordered. I've got business cards to put into the Cubs cards for kids. I had to buy a case of team bags for those. Those are in. I've got my stickers. I've got the blue bags from Gem City Card Show's recommendation. And then I've the only other thing, I've got to figure out how to stream. I've got to figure out how to stream using the multi-camera thing, whatever that was called. I got to figure that out. I've got to get the Cubs packs made up. I've got to get some showcase because I'm taking my showcase with Cubs cards. So I've still got a lot of work to do in the next, is it 5? It might be 6 weeks. December. I think it's 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Max says, are the Bears out of the playoff picture? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I still think the Bears win 11 games. They're 9-4 with 4 games, 17-game season, 9-4. And with their schedule, will they go 2-2? Probably. They might even win 3 games. They're not going to win out. Chicago Bears schedule. I do think they will beat Green Bay at Soldier Field. They play the Browns this week. Whew. All right, so we got the Browns this week. So now, this is why the NFL is funny, because you would have said, well, the Bears lost to somebody that they shouldn't have a couple weeks ago, and then they beat the Eagles. So it's like, well, that's a win, that's a loss. But it usually comes out like, okay, they won the amount of games, some of the individual games you wouldn't have expected, but so they're 9-4. I expect them to be 10-4 with a win over Cleveland. I expect them to beat Green Bay at Chicago on December 20th. So I think they're going to be 11-4. 49ers, that's going to be a tough one in San Francisco. Ooh, night game. Let's just say they lose that game and they beat the Lions. I think they win 3 games. At worst, the Bears go 2-2. At worst. And you can, and I could see multiple scenarios because it is the NFL. I could see multiple scenarios where they beat the Packers and 49ers and lose to the Browns and Lions. I could see them, I could see them winning or losing any of those 4 games because it is the NFL. Like, you come in after a big game against Green Bay, a close loss, and then it could be a letdown against Cleveland. Like, I could see that happening. Like, I could see the Bears losing to Cleveland. Now, do I see them going 1-3? No. 0-4, certainly not. 2-2, likely. 3-1, possibility. 4-0, unlikely. But I think they get to 11 because I think Unicorn said something in the chat down here. Shithole hurts and Philly lost again too this week. Was a great week. How about that? What teams are imploding? Good teams. Philadelphia, Kansas City, Detroit looked like the best team in the NFL in week 2, and they're on the brink of shittiness. Max says needs a 99-yard tush push to win anything now. The Chiefs are 6-7. It's meme worthy. Oh, 6-7. The Icon Flash. What's going up? Big fan. Thank you. Bo talks for hours about nothing. That's true. That's true. LRS has been very quiet lately. Yeah, where has LRS been? Playing skill games. Gem City says having radio experience does help, though, I feel like. Oh, my gosh. Without question. I mean, I worked in morning radio for most of my radio career was in morning. So I was in radio from 2000. When did I start? 2002. I think I started radio at the end of 2002, commercial radio. And quickly I was on morning radio, not as like the host, but I was the news in like 3-4 months. I was the news director and sports director. That's small market radio, my friends. You're 19 years old, have less than 6 months experience. And hey, you're going to write all the news and sports for our morning show. And that was not a credit to my, that was certainly not a credit to my talent. That is just the, the hard part of hiring good talent in small market radio. They'll let anybody in. And that's why it doesn't pay anything. So yeah, I worked and then I did a morning show for several years from 2003. I was hired on to co-host a morning show in April of 2003. Did that for several years. Then I went over to the country station, did that for a couple years. When I was in Galesburg and Monmouth, I'm trying to remember, did I do more? I don't think I did morning show. I was on in the mornings, but I don't know if I ever hosted the shows. Because the funny thing was our FM station in Monmouth didn't have a morning show. Well, we did, but it was like John Tesh or somebody. I don't know. It was syndicated. We had our AM farm show. Obviously, I was not hosting that. And then our sports talk, and I was not doing that either. But I did do a sports talk show in the noon hour. Cody, what's going on? Good morning. Hockey. Man, I can't believe how well hockey sells. It's crazy. 60,000 little billboards. Should be a movie. You need a little HTML code. There he is. Low Roller Scratcher in the house. You heard age verification is coming worldwide. Everyone will force ask ID every website in the future. Gem City says, that's dynamic. We can figure that out. Low Roller says, figure out what? Matt's in the house listing some 2025 Allen and Ginter while watching. Hey, how was your breaks? Vamos says $25. Charlie's here. What's going on? Listing and shipping and coffee? Oh, my. Dan says, no, Bears are still alive. Number 7 seed right now. May go back near the top if they beat Cleveland, then Green Bay. Oh, yeah. There's still, Max is aware. There's still a lot of time. Did they make the 11 wins yet? Not yet. I didn't say they were going to win 11 games by December 9th. I said they're going to win 11 games this season. There's still 4 games left. They are 9-4. Max says, cool. He's looked like shit the rest of the season. That game didn't matter at all. No, it didn't. But he still looked good. And this is basically his rookie year. More ID talk from Low Roller. The team other than Rome isn't terrible, but not great either. I like Rome Odunze. I wish he could limit the drops. Max says, we have injuries too, much bigger than yours. Next man up. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying the shortcomings, the holes to fill have been defense, and unfortunately our backups aren't as good as the starters. But that's what happens in the NFL. Like, that happens all the time to every single team. What if they force IDs for skill games? That's a great question. LT is arguably the second most important position on the team, and we have the worst one in the league. Dan says defensive end is mostly needed. We have no pass rush. The guys we've had at left tackle have done okay. Have they? Max says, you're going to be one of those banner guys now, too. Those should be banned at shows where there isn't enough room. Well, I don't set up at shows. And basically, Cubs Convention is a trade show. So where everybody has one of those banner guys. Charlie says, the good news for you, according to the Bears super fan behind me at the game Sunday, is that the Bears have the best quarterback in football, the best O-line in football, the best running back in football. Whoever was behind you is a giant moron. Low Roller talking about something completely off topic, but I guess that's kind of our shtick here. We completely talk about random shit. So I guess Low Roller's on point here. Max says, on any team, I was speaking, Dan, not just your Bears. Charlie says, the best punter in football, and nobody can run on their defense. I wasn't replying to you, but I agree. Max says 1-3 at best. I highly disagree with that. Max says, better beat Cleveland. For adultish type videos on YouTube, yes. But I always use a VPN when I go on the internet. So Dan knows how to get around those adultish videos. Max says, is it bad that I would rather see Dallas win than Philly at this point? Big Dom must not be in on the fix with Sirianni anymore. Dan says, tired of Philly, wouldn't mind for a couple years. Max says, was hoping the Redskins would fill that void, but apparently that was a one-year thing. Low Roller says, you might not see me using YouTube next year. I refuse giving my ID online to watch YouTube content. No more YouTube low Roller Scratcher. LRS, they already have all your info anyways. Oh, yeah, they've got your info. Since you don't pay taxes, why not just get a fake ID for the internet? There you go. There you go. All right. So you know what I did yesterday? So I'm out of mushroom coffee. I've been drinking regular Dunkin' the last couple days, just from my coffee pot, the kind you buy at the store. And but I looked up over the weekend. Are there any like retail outlets that sell mushroom coffee? And ChatGPT told me that probably Walmart and Target, since they have it online or something. I don't know. So I needed to get some envelopes, and of course, I always want to check the card section, see if there's anything that I want to buy. There wasn't. They had a full selection, but it's like, do I really want to piss away on blaster boxes of this? I'm like, nah, I don't. What else did I need? I think that was it. So they didn't have any Rise mushroom coffee, but they had Mud Water, which was actually the first like non-coffee coffee that I had seen on the internet before I bought Rise. So I did buy a packet of Mud Water. So I'm going to try that this morning, see how that is. And then I went to I've been craving, I always get hot chocolate cravings like the first 2 weeks of December, like only the first 2 weeks of December. And especially if there's snow on the ground, then I'm like, ooh, I need some hot chocolate. So I've been craving some hot chocolate. We've got a lot of snow on the ground. It's been cold. It's the first week of December. So I want some hot chocolate. So I go to the hot chocolate, which is weird at Target. It's in a different aisle. So I went to the hot chocolate, and I see they have like some of the healthy versions, which is kind of like, I don't want to, because I know that there's sugar in hot chocolate, like Swiss Miss or whatever it is. I'm like, yeah, no wonder it tastes so good. So I see this like healthy, and there's only 3 ingredients, which I like, not killing us with all the chemicals. So I see this, and I'm like, oh, this looks good. Mindful Nutrition was the name of the brand. I'm like, okay. So then I look at the Swiss Miss. I'm like, I just want to see what the ingredients are in Swiss Miss. And of course, it's a laundry list. And then I look, it's like 50% of your daily intake of sugar in this Swiss Miss. And I usually use 2 packets because I fill my Buc-ee's mug. So that's 100% in one sitting of your daily intake of sugar. And I would like to keep under that daily intake amount. Like, fuck. So I opted for the healthy alternative, the Mindful Nutrition. So I came home, got Ernie, and came home, and I'm like, I'm going to have some hot chocolate, this Mindful Nutrition hot chocolate. And of course, I double it up because I'm putting it in my Buc-ee's mug. And let me tell you, it tastes really good. Like, it does not, like, it tastes like a full-bodied, and I did use almond milk instead of water, which I think really helped also. And I'm like, damn, this is really good. And then all of a sudden, I just start feeling like rested, like just like chill. Like, man, is there fucking weed in this? Like, what the hell? Like, man, I feel good. Man, some good shit in here. I'm just like relaxed, man. I'm chill. Like, put on some Pink Floyd. I'm good. So I'm like, man, and all of a sudden, I fall asleep. I never fall asleep on like 6 o'clock on the couch. I fall asleep. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I take a look at this Mindful Nutrition. It's got melatonin in it. And I did double the melatonin that I probably should have. Like, no wonder I'm fucking passing out on the couch at 6 o'clock. Consumed all this melatonin. So, and of course, everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. But if melatonin affects you, apparently it affects me. I've never taken like melatonin or anything, but man, it's like you're chill, man. It's some good shit. So if there's a time where I need to just like calm, like it's a bit, I'm pissed off at Madison Card Show bullshit, which by the way, parking's going up in January. So get the pitchforks out. $10 to park at the Alliant Energy Center starting in January. So I got that email. They're also going to crack down on the gate, the parking gates. Like, good. I wish you would have done that a couple months ago. It would have avoided me a lot of hassle paying for all these parking passes, and you're not even scanning them. So with that, and I also have to pay for all those parking passes. So tables are going to go up starting in January also for the Madison Card Show. So there you go. So that was fun news. So once I start taking complaints, I'm going to have to get that melatonin hot coffee, and that'll chill me out. Where we at? Let's see. Dan says northern South Korea, Seoul, has been getting snow, but nothing down by me, which is normal. We've had more snow. It's December 9th. We've already had more snow than we did all of last winter. I think we had like 17 inches of snow last winter, which is like not very much at all. We've had like 18 inches already this winter. And we've got like 3 or 4 inches forecasted for tonight. So I'm all about snow in December, as long as it doesn't snow on December 27th, like we had the November show. Madison Card Show, Alliant Energy Center, your last $8 parking show. Let's see. Where we at? We got to go up to the chat. We're missing some chats. Let's see. Dan says, I don't think they ask for age verification to watch Bo talk about his crud. That's right. GWRBI, what's going on? Good morning. Gem City almost forgot. The Gem City Card Show is moving to a larger space and growing. Estimated 70 to 80 tables. Congrats. Very nice. I love to see the growth. Max says, whoever was behind Charlie sounds like your typical Bears fan. I won't argue with that. Because that is the typical Bears fan. They're fucking meatheads. I would agree with that 100%. I know why Bears fans get the I'm a Bears fan. And there's just some listen to the score after a Bears. Jesus Christ. Max says, since it hasn't been talked about lately, just wanted to remind everyone that the Packers beat the Bears on Sunday. There you go. Max's take. That's okay. I said Max could take his victory lap. We'll leave this on. Let me take a drink of water. We're going to leave this on so everyone can see. Since I came on and paraded around for 2 weeks, we'll let Max have his victory dance. I didn't realize the Bears were still in the NFL. They are. We made it, baby. Unicorn, they should have been relegated years ago. We talked about that. Madison Man talks about mushroom consumption experience. Unicorn, thought I've heard this story before. Did you get that mushroom stuff from Jake Plummer? No, I get it from, I've been drinking mushroom coffee for like a year and a half now. It's been a year and a half. Rise mushroom coffee. Nothing new. Hot cider is the way to go. I am a big hot cider fan. Hot cider is a good one. Drink regular coffee or soda or water like a normal person. I don't want to be. Have you seen Americans? I don't want to be a normal person that drinks soda and regular coffee. I don't want to. I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. I'll be back in 2-3 weeks as well. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I think I'm going to go on eBay Live tonight. I haven't scheduled it, but I've still got a bunch of orders to ship. So I do plan on doing, it'll probably be more of a laid back, although I did get some slabs yesterday from an order. Tomorrow I plan on going to a card shop tomorrow, do some sourcing. Friday morning, I've got a deal set up. And I think I'm thinking Wednesday and Friday is going to be a little more lower end stuff. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Friday is going to bring. We've done a couple deals in the past, so I kind of know. Wednesday, tomorrow, just all depends on what I see. I've got money burning a hole in my pocket from last week's failed buying trip. Speaking of buying, I made a stupid purchase, but I'm okay. Like I wanted to. So, and this is like hot coffee. I also get Wrestling Magazine nostalgia this time of year, and I love wrestling magazines. And I went through during COVID. I needed a hobby away from my hobby, my baseball card hobby. I needed because we were stuck. So I started collecting the run of Pro Wrestling Illustrated because that was my favorite. It still is. I have a subscription. My subscription might have ran out though. I don't know. I still get it. I think they just auto bill me, and I'm like, okay. And I flip through it and read it. And I sell them, and I like reading them and then resell them. Magazines, not a very good, like, it's one of the most stagnant things you could buy. Like, if you ever, I don't want to give advice, but if you were to ask for advice, should I buy all of these Sports Illustrateds or Sporting News or insert whatever magazine? Playboys are a terrible, like, they're not even worth the paper they're printed on. Magazines are not. Just don't. But I did. Do as I say, not as I do. But it's kind of like the Allen and Ginter question. Like, if you like the product, absolutely buy it. If you're looking for a flip, like anything that's unopened, it's a gamble. You may do really well. You may break even. You may lose money. If you're okay with that, do it. If you're not, don't. So there was in a Facebook, one of the wrestling groups I'm in, wrestling collectibles groups, somebody had 400 vintage wrestling magazines. Most of them are from like the 60s and 70s. And Max, I agree to an extent. Back in the day, and I've probably in the 1,642 shows, I've probably told this story a few times. I did a big Sporting News collection buy back in 2007, 2008, somewhere back then, and drove to Mount Carmel, Illinois, which is down on the border by Evansville, Indiana, way down south. From where I was at, it was about a 5.5 hour drive. Drove 5, and this is when gas was like insanely priced. It was like back in 2007, $3 a gallon was a lot of money. I had a Ford Explorer, so I probably spent $200 in gas to buy these fucking Sporting News, but I only paid $20. So it was an eBay listing for like 1,000 Sporting News magazines, and it was $20. It might have been an auction even. But it was local pickup. And I'm like, fuck, 5 hours. Let's do it. I'm dumb. So I did. And I actually made quite a bit of money on that. Now, I spent an entire day. At that point in time, I didn't really care what I did on my set. Like, I would have probably just started drinking at noon because I don't know how old I was, 25. So I probably would have just started drinking at noon and wasted the day anyway. Instead, we're just going to drive all the way down to Southern Illinois and pick up Sporting News magazines. And $20. But I spent like $200 in gas. But I still have a few of those magazines. I've thrown a bunch away. I sold a bunch. I made good money. There were some like with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, UCLA on the cover. Bill Walton, UCLA. There was some, back in the heyday of UCLA basketball. So I made a really good amount. Of course, this was, 20 years ago. So I'm in this wrestling collectibles group, and I see 400 wrestling magazines, $1,000 local pickup, or will ship at price. And I'm like, 400 magazines, that's going to be a lot for shipping. But I'm like, I'm doing the math. Like, that's, if say it's $200 shipping, which I expected it to be more than that, that's $3 a magazine. And some of these are dating back to like the 60s, early to mid 60s. A lot of early 70s. There's some modern stuff, but it's mostly the vintage magazines, which tend to sell better. Like the modern stuff is going to just sit for forever. Not forever. Every once in a while, I'll sell. I've got a few still in my eBay store, and they every once in a while they sell for like $10. But if I list them for $10 each, shipping's $5, and take out what, $1, almost $2 in fees. So you're looking at, guess what? $3. Exactly what I paid. And actually, I paid a little more. I think it was $1,200 with shipping. It's $1,250, which I thought it was going to be. I had budgeted as I thought through it. I had budgeted between $1,400 and $1,500. Like if it was $1,500 was kind of like, we're getting close. We're getting close to $4 a magazine. Because at $10 I can break even. But I know a lot of those magazines can sell, when they do sell, can sell for $20. However, it's not like it's an instant sale. And I certainly can't go on eBay Live and move these. I have thought about, well, I can do an eBay Live wrestling magazine show and just start them all at $10 each. And, I'll make a little bit of money because my fees are not the same fees as Buy It Now. I have a deal. So, I can probably make $1 if I start them at $10, free shipping, or my 99-cent shipping, make $1, make a couple bucks. So I may do that. Because I've kind of been doing, wrestling themes here and there. So we'll see. But start messing. I'm like, hey, I'm really interested in this magazine lot. But I'm in Wisconsin and I'm not going to drive to Tennessee. He's in Tennessee. I'm not going to drive to Tennessee for these magazines. And he's like, okay, I can get shipping. I'll go to the post office in the morning and see what shipping is going to cost. And I mean, you can do it online. Like you didn't have, I think he actually did go to the post. You can do it online. And I did it and I overestimated, and my estimation came in at like $400, which is like kind of right in line where I was willing to pay. And so he messages back and he's like, it's in these boxes. Do you want this? And I'm like, without the cardboard, whatever, it's fine, because they're all bagged. And I'm like, he's like, looks like it's only 11 hours between us. I'd be willing to meet halfway if you pitch in $100 or $200 for gas. And I'm like, fuck that. There's no way in hell. Because it's going to cost me $100 in gas or more on top of what I'm paying you, like plus fucking 12 hours of my day. Like, I don't want to spend $100 to save $1. Like let's just get that out of the way right now. So ended up being like $220, I think. So I'm like, deal. 400 wrestling magazines coming my way. And I don't know where my phone is. They date back to, I think, the early to mid 60s. I don't know. It's on my phone somewhere, but yeah, we'll see. And I mean, I'm going to enjoy going through and reading it, and it'll be fun listing. It'll be fun. If I can get $20-$25 and, slowly make my way back. But I was thinking this morning, it's like, that was a dumb buy. Like, it's just but it's a fun buy. Like it's very similar to my Allen and Ginter. Like, I know, and I got lucky with Allen and Ginter. I doubled my money in a day, but there's been times where I didn't. Last year, I bought a case of Allen and Ginter and lost my ass. But I knew, like, I was willing, like, I'm just going to throw this money away, and whatever I can recoup, I'm okay with. And that's kind of like this. Like, it'll be cool to have it until it's like, God, I need to get rid of these wrestling magazines. And it's kind of a motivation to get out I got a storage tub that I haven't even listed of magazines that I need to get out and get those listed. So it'll motivate me. Hopefully. Let's see. Where we at? Dan says he's been drinking his mushroom coffee for a while, since May 6th, I think, was the, because that was my doctor's appointment in 2024. It's like, okay, I need to make some changes. Let's see. Max says, back in my eBay days, made tons of money on magazines, tons. Gotta buy right. I made like a second living on media guides. Like, man, I had a buyer, and I had so many media guides. I had a buyer that every week he would buy like $400 a week, and I would send him like 50 media guides every week. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was a little. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but might have not been 50. But it was like, I mean, it was like a second income. I was working in radio. I was making just about as much money selling magazines and media guides on eBay that I was working in radio. And then all of a sudden that fell through. I don't know. Maybe he found a cheaper price, but I mean, I was making bank on old college media guides. Max says Playboy was great until eBay messed with the category. I mean, I see like Facebook Marketplace, like you can buy an entire run of Playboy for like pennies. It's crazy. So I don't think it's just eBay. Likely the tea bag has a photo and biography of a person that picked it. You never know. It might. Come get some more hockey. I may have to do that. Dan says, don't talk about the selling of CDs. Oh, yeah. And then we had the great CD debacle of 2014. Max says, Dan, music is even better, but again, got to buy list correctly. Michael Renicke's in the house. Did I text you back? If not, you're good to go for December 27th. So I had to make on the Treasure account, I had to make a temporary vendor for anybody that didn't pay in advance, book in advance. So you're on there. Craig's on there. I don't know. There's a couple others. Oh, we got some new vendors coming in. So there's still quite a few tables left. Is there a way for me? And it's really cool. Like you can select your tables. Let me try to find out. All right, let's share my screen. What is a Michael Renicke? No, but it's all good. I saw that my spot had my name on the map. Yes. Let's see. All right. Madison Card Show. Password protection is off. There was a little glitch at the beginning. I think it just didn't, because I took the password protection off right as I sent the link out. So I think it just hadn't updated. So a lot of people, like, they were trying to book right at the start, were like, hey, what's the password? But that got fixed pretty quickly. So here's the tables available. So there's only 3 sports tables left, which is surprising. Table 9 is still available. Like, that's right at the front of the room. I thought that would be the first to go. So just 3 sports tables. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've still got quite a few premium tables open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 premium tables are open. Pokemon room, this whole wall. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we got 17 Pokemon tables open, 3 sports tables, and what did I say? 7 of the premium tables. So there you go. It's pretty cool. You can just click on sports table and then hit continue. Like, you actually pick the one you want. You got 20 minutes to reserve it. I accept. And then you put in your information. I don't know why it defaulted to Pokemon on that. So there you go. Treasure. I just took myself off. I really like the way it goes. There's been a lot of hand holding along the way, but I kind of expected that. But it has been like, I don't have to map it out myself. It's been awesome. And for the most part, it's been easy for vendors. Like I told I said earlier, like the PayPal Venmo thing, I've reached out to them. I don't know if it's going to be a thing because they use the payment is through Stripe. Stripe doesn't have PayPal Venmo, but they may do. I don't know if they can figure out a way to take a payment through PayPal Venmo. We'll see. But at least they're aware. But surprisingly, I had a few complaints at the beginning, but since I opened it up to everybody else, nobody's at this point, nobody's mentioned it. So that's a good thing. I haven't had any issues since it went live. I haven't had anybody reach out about issues in the booking process. So that's awesome. The only thing that I knew I was going to run into this is that, and this is why I had a buffer. The first couple of Alliance shows, I had a buffer in place of like a week where if a vendor wanted to move up, like they had that ability. Never really had, like, everybody wanted their spots. A few people wanted to move around, but it was easy to handle. It's like, we don't need a buffer. Now I can see it because I had a couple people like, hey, I want these tables are open. I want this table. And it's as everything's flying, like if somebody requested it now, it would probably work. But you know, as tables are literally being booked in real time and you want to switch, it's like, let's hold off. So that may be something where before I go live, I may send out, like, you've got a day. Like, here's for the existing vendors, here's the map. Here's who didn't rebook. If you want to move to one of those tables, you've got 24 hours. So I'll probably look into doing that. We're at the Alliance the next 3 months. So December, January, February. So it's going to be a quick turnaround. So basically, you're going to have, I'll basically open it up probably the week of the show. I'll open up table booking for January, and then we'll need to get those rebooked by, you know, January, probably like the Friday, the first, how's the calendar layout? Probably like January 2nd going into that weekend. So you got a week. And then that's going to book for the January 20. Yeah. It's got to be January 2nd because we're not the last weekend, right? January 24th. Yeah. We're January 24th. So we'll have to have rebookings done by January 2nd so we can have a good couple of weeks of booking for the non-rebooked tables. So that's what I had. Like and subscribe. Hopefully go on eBay Live tonight. Might do a 7 o'clock, probably more of a bargain box. I'd like to do some lots just to get rid of some of my lower end stuff. And I've been talking about how I want to kind of get my lives where daytimes are like the bargain box singles, maybe some lots, some small like 10 card lots, where I'm just moving lower end stuff. In the prime time where I get the bigger audience, that's where I'm going to run the slabs and the better, like the more liquid stuff. So the good vintage and stuff like that. So we'll see. All right. So I'm going to go. I got to make that Mudwater coffee today. We'll see how that is as my Rise is getting delivered. So have a great day. Hopefully we'll see you on eBay Live tonight. Otherwise, tomorrow morning. See you then.